My name is Teddi Bishop, and this is the Buret digital badge. And here I have my Buret. So you can see I am doing the rinsing process for this Buret before I do my titration to make sure that it is completely clean. So there I am just squirting water, DI water from my wash bottle into the Buret, making sure that I coat the sides of the Buret as I squirt it in there. And then once I have squirted water into the Buret, I'm going to open the stopcock and allow the water to run through the tip of the Buret and dispense out through the tip. So I will dispense about half of the water that I squirted in there, and then the rest, as you can see there, I will dispense out the top end. And while I am doing this and pouring it from the top, I am twisting the Buret back and forth to once more coat the sides of the Buret in the DI water and to make sure those sides get rinsed really well. And here I am going to repeat this step several times just to ensure that the Buret is thoroughly cleaned and that water is dispensing through the tip and really coating every part of the Buret. And once again, as you can see there, I am twisting the Buret as I empty the rest of the water from the top of it. And after completing this rinse step with water several times, as you can see there are no droplets left on the side of the Buret or down at the tip by the stopcock. So that is how I know that this Buret is clean, because there is no residue and there aren't any droplets sticking along the sides of the Buret there. And I am now going to perform the next rinsing step, which is rinsing the Buret with the titrant that I am going to be using in the titration. Here, as you can see, I am using a pasture pipette to transfer some of the titrant into my Buret. Once again, making sure that I dispense those droplets down the sides of the Buret to really coat every part of the Buret that is going to be in contact with the titrant. And now I am going to once again dispense some of that titrant out through the tip of the Buret there, as you can see. And then I am going to empty the rest of it from the top, once again twisting the Buret to ensure that it completely coats and cleanses the sides of the Buret. This step in rinsing the Buret with the titrant is important so that no droplets of water or residue of water is left on the sides of the Buret once the actual titration is conducted, because this can even slightly dilute the titrant as it is being dispensed from the Buret. And we just want to make sure that the only liquid that is coating the sides of the Buret that might come in contact with the titrant during the titration is the titrant itself. So that is why we conduct this rinsing process first with the water to actually cleanse the Buret, and then once again with the titrant so that the titration itself is not diluted at all. Once I have completed the rinsing process 3 times each with both the water and the titrant, I am now ready to start my titration because I know that the burette is clean and it is properly dispensing the liquid, and it has now been rinsed in the titrant, so it is ready to start the titration process. Here I have a burette clamp that I am tightening onto my ring stand, and then I am going to clamp my burette onto the stand with that burette clamp. And this stand is what is going to hold my burette over my flask, as you can see there, as I conduct my titration. And I am lowering the tip of the burette down into the mouth of the flask so that no liquid splashes up and out of the flask while I am conducting my titration. And here, as you can see, I have a burette funnel and a paper clip, and I am just sliding both of those in the mouth of the burette there, just including the very end of that paper clip sliding down in there to prevent any vacuum from forming between the funnel and the burette. And then I am just using this burette funnel as I pour my titrant into my burette. And I have my burette at approximately eye level so that I can clearly see the meniscus as I pour my titrant up to the line. So now that I have finished adding my titrant, I filled the burette up to exactly 25 milliliters, and I will be using this dark colored paper as a meniscus reader because I didn't know we had actual meniscus readers, but as you can see there, the bottom of the meniscus is right at the 25 milliliter mark on the burette. And I will also show you the tip of the burette. As you can see there, there are no bubbles anywhere in the solution in the tip or within the solution above the stopcock, so I know that my volume measurement within the burette is very accurate. And now I will be dispensing some of that titrant from my burette using the stopcock there, and I am just dispensing this liquid out into my flask that's just below the burette there. So as you can see, it is draining from the tip of the burette once I put the stopcock into the open position. And then once it gets closer to my volume of interest, I am going to slow down the draining of the titrant with the stopcock and slowly close it more and more as I get closer to my volume of interest. Now that I have finished dispensing my titrant, I will show you with the actual meniscus reader that the bottom of my meniscus is exactly at 7.00 milliliters. So you can see there, so that means in the process of this titration, I dispensed 7.00 milliliters of titrant.